Okay, this video is called Modern Questions and Answers. So we'll just go through these questions in order. What is liberalism? Well, the first thing to realize is in modern vocabulary, a lot of things mean the opposite of what they claim to mean. So liberalism actually means totalitarianism. And that's really just another way to say communism. Okay. Um, what is tolerance? Tolerance in communist vocabulary basically means anything that communism wants. Anything that disagrees with communism is not tolerated. So that's an interesting point, that the preachers of so-called tolerance are completely intolerant of anyone who doesn't agree with them. Okay, the next question. What is the difference between a man and a woman? Communism says that question is not allowed to be answered. You're not allowed to say what is the difference between a man and a woman, even though it's rather obvious. And given that, almost all society depends on the differences between men and women, not being able to say the difference between a man and a woman is a pretty strong barrier to communication and to doing anything scientific or practical in life. Okay? This is a rather amazing thing that we've got ourselves in a position where people can't say what's the difference between a man and a woman. Okay? It's ridiculous. Okay, what is hate speech? Hate speech is anything that communism does not want you to say. And so then, of course, well, why does communism forbid certain things to say? Because communism cannot control society unless people are forced to lie and to obey, okay? It's been said by people who lived in communist countries that in a communist country you have to lie all day long every day, okay? I've actually known people from communist countries and they tell me, oh, if you want to survive, you have to lie all the time. That's not the case in a free country with free speech. Okay, next question. Why is society being so heavily feminized? For example, there's a tremendously large amount of estrogenic chemicals in the tap water, in processed foods, in personal care products, apparently being sprayed into the sky. And it is thought that the reason for this is feminization of population makes them easier to enslave. Also, the same chemicals that feminize people also tend to make them infertile, both men and women. So it's a way to decrease their numbers and to make them less able to be able to claim their property and related stuff. Okay, what about free speech? Free speech is something that gives power to the poor. As a matter of fact, free speech is about the only power that the poor people have. Communism says that the poor people do not deserve any power. Communism does not even consider them people. It believes in atheistic Darwinism, which says they are not people. They are talking primates. Talking primates do not have any rights, including no right to free speech. Okay, what is a racist? What's the definition of a racist? A racist is anyone who is winning an argument with a communist. That definition comes from Peter Brimelow. Okay, anyone winning an argument with a communist is automatically called a racist. Okay, or some other variation on that. Misogynist, phobic this, phobic that. Okay, why is atheism, Darwinism, lousy modern art, and just bad behavior in general so heavily promoted in modern society by the communists? Because these things make a population easier to conquer and to enslave. It provides the societal values that say slavery should come back and that anybody who doesn't agree with the Communist Party should be beaten or imprisoned or fined or somehow have to be punished for trying to be allowed to have an opinion. They're not allowed to have opinions. Communism, the party is always right. Communist Party is always right. By the way, what is the Communist Party in the United States? It's the Democrats, okay? Isn't that obvious? The Democrats are the American Communist Party. Okay, the next question is, are humans created in the image of God? According to communism, they are just talking primates, talking apes. They are not created in the image of God. Christianity, that old-fashioned religion which says humans are created in the image of God, that is going to be illegal in the not-too-distant future. The Bible is going to be made illegal, okay? So all this stuff about empowering mankind, all people are equal in the eyes of God, that's going out the door, okay? People don't protect and maintain Christianity, well, they're going to lose it, okay? And they're going to be slaves in the future communist empire, okay? That's just the way it is. All right, do humans deserve natural rights? Communism says, of course not. Talking primates do not have any rights. Talking primates are put into jails, okay? They have no rights. And then the person says, well, what about property rights? No, no, no. The Communist Party does not allow property rights. I mean, that's sort of the basis of all Marxism is no property allowed. People should not be allowed, according to communists, they should not be allowed to have a gas stove or a gas car. They're supposed to eat bugs and like it, okay? They're not even supposed to really own a house. And people don't really own their houses. They have to pay a ton of property taxes, okay? Uh, Take a look at that lady who defected from North Korea. Okay, she had some video footage of life in North Korea. The rich places, had these little wood huts. Communism causes poverty for everyone. Okay, I knew people that grew up in communist Russia and communist controlled countries. They're so poor it's not even funny. Um, Okay, they even had outhouses. I know some of them in the 1970s and 80s. Okay, what about parental rights? No, communism does not allow parental rights. The child does not belong to the parents in a communist, democrat controlled country. It belongs to the communist collective, okay? The opinion of the communists is they control the public schools and they own the children. They can do whatever they want with them. They can drug them, they can sterilize them, they can do anything they want with them. I mean, you have to understand, they own them like a farmer owns an animal. The dairy farmer owns the cow and the calf. The dairy farmer can make the calf into veal. And the Communist Democrat Party believes that it should own your children, not you. That's an important point. The Communist Democratic Party wants to own your children, not you. And what it does with them is none of your business. Okay? Well, what about climate change? What about the claims that climate change is caused by people farting? Communist Party says yes, it is the population, the people who have caused climate change, and therefore they need to be fined for it and have their freedom taken away. But the person says, well, what about when communists start all those fires in places like California, Canada, Hawaii, and food processing plants? What about doesn't that cause pollution that causes climate change? What about when they routinely pollute the sky with the trails and stuff that their planes make? What about when they deliberately destroy things like the pipeline, the Nord Stream? Well, according to the Communist Party, all of those actions are irrelevant. They do not cause climate change or damage the environment at all. It is the people's farting that damages the economy and the things that the people do. Therefore, they must be fined. The Communist Party is always right. Remember that. They're always right. And to say anything that disagrees with them is, racism or phobic this or phobic that and will not be tolerated. What is CNN, Communist News Network? Okay, that's an old joke. All right. What is the Democratic Party, the American Communist Party? And then what is the goal of the Democrats? The goal of the Democrats is very simple, and they do not waver from this. They first have to get rid of the white Christian men. Now, why do they need to get rid of the white Christian men? Because in the mindset of the Communist Party, the white Christian men are the ones that push for freedom too much. They are the ones who wrote the Declaration of Independence. They are the ones who wrote the Constitution. The communist country cannot have a Declaration of Independence or a Constitution. So the attitude of the Democrats is if they can just get rid of the white Christian men, then in their opinion, the Communist Democratic Party, their opinion is all the other groups are easy to control. A bunch of women, they're not going to do anything to stop them. All the other ethnic groups, they can say whatever they want, but they have no ability, in the opinion of the Democratic Communist Party, to stop them whatsoever. Okay? And that's just the way it is.